me see. Is this thing working? Hello? 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 Is this thing working? Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy B-Holes coming at you from Gilbert High School. If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up down at the bottom. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. I'm just kidding, guys. You can tell I've been watching way too much YouTube over the last 4 weeks. So I just want to say welcome to our live stream banquet. I'm not really sure how this is going to go, but we're going to do our very best. And under unusual circumstances, I'm just happy to be able to try to get this out. And I hope you're watching it, and I hope you're all doing really well. So, welcome to our banquet. Each year I talk about how every team kind of writes its own chapter, and they kind of put their own stamp on things, and that's one of the reasons I like coming back and coaching year after year, is because every season is different. Well, this is surely different. And so I miss you all very much. I hope every one of you is doing well and staying healthy and trying to not go too insane. And so we're going to go through this banquet, and it'll be a little bit different. I'm going to try to go non-stop. We're not going to edit anything. And so there might be a few awkward moments, but I just wanted to say thank you. So I start every banquet, pretty much the same way, thanking the parents, thanking the players. Parents, thank you very much for your commitment. I know it's a big chunk of time and energy, and so I appreciate that. Players, thank you very much. Obviously, it's your program, so thank you for your commitment to coming out each year. I'd also like to thank our administration here at Gilbert High. So Dan Hosh, if you're watching, he's our athletic director. He does a great job. He does more than just the big sports. He keeps his eye on all the sports. He's always been a big supporter of soccer, both boys and girls, and so I appreciate that from him. Shauna, thank you very much. She's our secretary, helps keep everyone eligible and registered and things moving smoothly for us. And I'd like to thank you, the boosters, the parents. Everyone's in the booster club, but some do a little bit more than others, so I'd like to take a little bit of time to thank them. First, I'd like to thank Tony and Kevin Boudreau. Tony and Kevin, you guys win the Lifetime Achievement Award. If you don't know, I've coached 4 different Boudreaux over the span of 23 years, and this is my final one. I still got Luke in the pipeline for coaching, so hopefully that goes well. But Tony and Kevin, thank you very much for your support over the years. I'd like to thank Beth and John Pacala for being willing to host the banquet. They hosted last year. They were willing again this year. Beth was very patient and understanding as we tried to navigate through how this was going to work and whether we should have it or shouldn't have it. And she was really busy, and I appreciate your patience and your wisdom in us trying to get through this whole situation. I'd like to thank Andrea Bevel for helping out with senior night. She did an amazing job. It was her first year helping with that, so thank you very much. I'd like to thank Dacia Alvarez for putting together the senior banquets, or the senior blankets. Shelby and Dacia and a couple of the other seniors, what they're going to do is they're going to come by and deliver your senior blankets to you, and they're also going to deliver you your letters for the seniors and your pins. Everyone else will just kind of hold on to your certificates and your pins and your letters, and I'll get them back to you when we get back to school next year. I'd like to thank Christine Corrado. Many of you don't know that, but she works down at District, and so she helps with POs. It's really good to have an in down at District to keep me from getting fired and to get our POs approved and keep them running smoothly so we can get our gear. I'd like to thank Raquel Skelton for helping out. This year we had to travel a lot with 2 teams, and she organized getting snacks out to the girls, so that was nice to be able to have those. I'd like to thank Carrie Greer for all her work on setting up the team meals and for everyone who brought team meals, everyone who hosted a pasta party. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank Shelly Neal. She's been our treasurer for a number of years now, and I've talked to Shelly a lot during the season. We communicate often, and a lot of times I need her to get me things at spur of the moment. She does a great job with that, keeping our fundraising going. So thank you very much, Shelly. Hope you're doing well. And finally, I'd like to thank James and Stacy Kowitz. That's Katrina's parents. They came in as freshmen this year, and James said, hey, I'd be willing to videotape some games for you, and I didn't really think too much about it, but he videotaped like every single game for us all year long, in the cold, in the wet, day games, tournament games, night games, even spliced together a couple things. He put together a video of all of our goals. I'm going to try to post it to this channel when I figure out how to do that. So James, thank you very much for your help. And parents, I'm sure I left someone out. But to all of you, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'd also like to thank my coaches. So Luke, if you're out there, thanks Luke. It was your first year. I really appreciated everything that you did. I thought you did a great job, and you're hired for next year if you're still available. Coach Burnat's with the JV. She's done that for a while, so thanks, Ash. And then finally, I'd like to thank my family. They're the ones who kind of allow me to do this. So Julie, I know you're happy that I'm not at home and I'm out recording this right now, because I'm probably driving you crazy. But anyway, thanks for giving me the time and the flexibility to continue to do what I love to do. So there's that. All right, so at this point, we usually go grab some food, and then I kind of start talking about the season. So we'll just kind of get into a little recap for the season. It was a big turnaround from last year's team. We graduated a ton of players, and everybody came in. And the first day at 5th hour, I kind of walked in and looked around, and the numbers were a little bit smaller than they usually are. And there were a lot of new faces in the room. And I pulled the seniors over, and we talked about kind of how this year was going to go and what our plans were. And I felt confident, from the very first day moving forward. Then from there, we had tryouts and teams were selected, and we had 12 new players on varsity. So, with one injured player for the whole year, Gracie Peru, she was on our roster, but with the 25 healthy players, 12 of them were new, and that's a massive turnover. And so it was kind of nice. It was a change. It was something different, and I thought that everything was going to be all right. I knew we had good leadership in the room, and I knew that they'd be able to help all these new players kind of assimilate to what we do at Gilbert High, and they did. We got together, we set some goals early, we set some pretty challenging goals, and I don't know if everyone believed that we were going to achieve all those goals or not in the beginning, but we set them, and we went out and we did our very best, and we had a lot of success early. That Campo tournament, we kind of changed it up a little bit. We went down a division so we could get a little more playing time for everybody. With so many new starters, I wanted to be able to kind of gel a little bit more than what we usually do in our tournaments, where we just kind of play everyone and don't really care about the results. But we needed to gel, and it came on quick. We had a lot of success in that tournament, and I was joking around with the girls. That honestly might be the first tournament we've ever won at Gilbert High. And so I told them, look, we don't want to peak in the first week in December. We got a long season ahead of us. But it was a great way to just kind of get the ball rolling and get the girls believing. And we learned a lot in that tournament. Then, Christmas came around. As with all high school teams, there were a couple key injuries. And so we spent, after Christmas, trying to figure out, what our lineup was going to be and what our identity was going to be. And we figured it out pretty quickly. Our identity was going to be that goals are going to be a little bit tough to come by, but we can rely on our defense, and we'll try to do anything we can do to scratch out a win. Good, bad, or ugly. And so that became our identity. And it worked out pretty well for us. We ended up with 15 wins, 6 losses, and 1 tie. We had a tournament win. We made it to the quarterfinals this year, where we lost to the eventual state champions. This is kind of a weird stat. Normally I wouldn't even include this stat, but I think it's a credit to our whole team and how much we fought all year. We did have 6 losses, but we didn't have a single loss that was by more of a margin than 2 goals. So we didn't lose by 3 goals all year long. Those losses, we were in them. We tried to keep them tight, and it's an unusual stat. I would normally not be proud of that type of a stat, but I think it's a credit to our defense. We played 23 games in the entire year. 19 of those 23 games were decided by 2 goals or less, whether we won or lost. And so that kind of tells you a lot about how our season went. 14 of those 19 games we won. So in those tight games, we did a really good job, and that's a credit both to our defense and our offense. Defensively, being able to hold people down, offensively, being able to find a way to win. And so those are just some kind of unique things. I usually don't talk about stats at the banquet, but it was kind of the identity of our team this year. So anyway, with that, I think we accomplished a lot. I thought we got better by the end of the year. Injuries certainly play a role, as they do with every team, but I thought overall I was really pleased with the work rate and the effort that our team gave, which is all that we expect around here. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and hand out our certificates. I usually start with the freshmen, work my way back up to the seniors. Usually they come up, I give them a firm handshake. If you're a first-year varsity player, you get a letter. If you're a second-year varsity player, you get a little soccer ball. It's a pin. If you're a third year and fourth year, then you get a bar. So basically you get your letter, you put the ball on your letter, and then you put a bar under that for each year. So my assistants usually help me hand those things out when you come up. So this year I'm just going to go through the certificates. Like I said, if you're a senior, Shelby and some of the other seniors have volunteered to come and deliver your stuff to you. If you're not a senior, I'll just hold on to your stuff and we'll get it back to you when school resumes in the fall. All right? So, with no further ado, let's get to the certificates. First off, we have Jess Elmendorf. Jess, congratulations. One of our 4 freshmen that were on the roster this year. Then we have Alyssa Sabato. Congratulations, Alyssa. This feels really strange not shaking your hands right now. Marley Randall. Congratulations, Marley. Obviously, these are all first-year varsity players because they're freshmen. And this is our final freshman. This freshman also got second team all-region for the Santan region. So congratulations to Katrina Kowitz for that. There you go. Now moving on to our sophomores. We have first-year varsity player, Taylor Bevel. Congratulations, Taylor. Brenna Greer. Congratulations. Brenna did a good job this year of we weren't really sure. It was going to be a battle between her and Alex as far as who was going to be in goal and who was going to be on the field. The nice thing was I knew whoever took the job in goal, the other one would be able to contribute on the field. And both Alex and Brenna did a great professional job. I was straight with them every time I talked to both of them at the same time. And so there was a good relationship between Brenna and Alex and who was on goal and who was in the field. So congratulations, Brenna. Brooke Hess, first-year varsity player. Congratulations, Brooke. Marissa Segura, first-year varsity player. Congratulations, Marissa. Anna Ruffley, sensing a theme. First-year varsity player. Congratulations, Anna. Returning varsity sophomore. So this one goes to Elizabeth Watts. Watts, you got honorable mention for all region this year. So congratulations. I'm not even sure if you knew that or not, but congratulations, Watts. There you go. I think that concluded our sophomore group. So now we're moving on to the juniors. Zoe Thomas, congratulations, ZT. First year varsity player. Longtime varsity player, Brooke Hastings. Congratulations, Brookie. There you go. First year varsity player, Gianna Corrado. Congratulations, G. This one, Gracie Peru. So many of you know Gracie's been on varsity for her freshman and sophomore year. She tore her ACL. We missed her badly this year, but she still is part of our team and come around. And I know she's probably fully recovered now. She was starting to jog around a little bit at the end of our season. So Gracie, I'm looking forward to having you back on the roster for a great senior year next year. Thank you. Grace Skeleton. Congratulations, Grace. Cameron. I'm going to say this about Cammy because I started calling Cammy Cameron for some reason. I'm not really sure why. And when she would come off the field, she would call me Benjamin. And I found that amusing. So, Cameron, congratulations on another year of varsity soccer. Good job. This player is junior. Also got honorable mention in our region this year. So, congratulations to Aaliyah Flores. All right. Oh, another junior. This junior also got second team all region, so congratulations to Sierra Koheiser, because I know how to say her name properly, unlike every announcer in the entire state of Arizona. Congratulations, Sierra, on her second team. Good job. All right, I believe that moves us on to our seniors. So we ended up with 7 seniors on the roster this year, and so normally when I give the seniors their certificate, I have them stand up here and then I say something really nice about each one of them. So I'm going to go ahead and give them their certificates now, virtually, and then I'm just going to say a little something about each senior, and then we'll move on from there. So our first senior I'd like to recognize is first-year varsity player Lauren Cooper. Congratulations, Coop. Our second senior is Shelby Alvarez. Congratulations, Shelby. We've also got Elena E. Maldonado. Elena, you got honorable mention in our region this year as well, so congratulations for that. Shake your hand. Just kidding me. Got Lily Pedersen, also received honorable mention this year, so congratulations, Lily. Alex Bevel, also honorable mention this year in our region. Congratulations, Alex. And Molly Pekela received first team all region, so congratulations, Malls. Well deserved. And then our final senior got not only first team all region, but also was named Offensive Player of the Year in our region this year, in what is no doubt the toughest region in the state. I mean, there's no question about it. I think we had like 6 of our 8 teams make it to the state tournament. I think we had like 4 of them make it to the quarters, and 2 or 3 in the semis, and the final was won by a team in our region. So definitely the most difficult region in the state, and Sarah was named Offensive Player of the Year. So congratulations, SB. Good job. All right, so now's the point where the seniors are usually lined up, and I try to embarrass each one of them one by one. So I'm just going to take a minute to talk about each senior, and I'll try not to take too long on each one. We're just going in alphabetical order here by last name. So the first one is Shelberto Shelby Alvarez. Shelby, hi. You know, I was already talking to your mom about this. We were talking earlier, and Shelby is exactly what I think the embodiment of Gilbert High soccer is. You know, you come in young, maybe you spend a year on JV, maybe you spend 2 years, then you spend a little bit of time swinging, and eventually, you know, you kind of work your way up, and that's the typical path. That's the way that it normally goes, and by your senior year, you know, you're hoping to contribute. And Shelby really did that. Usually your junior year is kind of like a make or break year in the varsity soccer program. You kind of figure out what you think your role is going to be. And when I was doing my meetings with Shelby at the end of last year when she was a junior, I said, you know, look, there's going to be opportunities this year, but these are the things you need to work on. This is what you're good at. This is what you still need to improve. And to her credit, you know, she did that. A lot of girls in her position could have just quit playing club soccer and said, well, I didn't contribute a ton as a junior, so I'm going to work on my schoolwork as a classic one, work on my grades, get a job, all that stuff. But all Shelby did was go back to her club team, continue to work hard, continue to get better. She came into tryouts fit, and she earned my trust early and played really valuable minutes for us and really developed into a great leader. So, Shelby, thank you very much. Next one is Alex Bevel. Alex might be, maybe in the history of the entire program, had the greatest jump from her freshman year to her senior year, as far as everything concerned. Soccer, school, life, personality, leadership. I'm going to tell a funny story about Alex, and I don't know if it's 100% accurate or not, but she's not here to defend herself, so I'm just going to say it anyway. When she was a freshman, she got into 5th hour right away, and you know, the first week we're in 5th hour, we always take the phone numbers and email addresses. And so I asked Alex, I said, hey, what's your phone number? And she was so nervous talking to me that she couldn't even tell me what her phone number was. And I can't remember if it was her parents' number or her number. I'm going to say it was her number because it makes the story better. But she was so nervous talking to me that she couldn't even spit out what the phone number was. And to hear that story from where she was 4 years ago to see where she is now is just an incredible transformation. Alex put up 0.84 goals against for us, so if you know anything about soccer, you know that is really, really good. She had 8 shutouts for us this year. She earned the job early. We just kind of settled on her, and she earned the trust of her teammates, and she just did a great job. So, Alex, it's been great seeing you develop into the player you are today and young lady you are today, so thank you. Sarah Boudreau. This is a funny one. All right, Sarah. Let's see. You led us in fouls with 42 fouls on the year. You led us in yellow cards with 6 yellows. You were tied for slobber knockers. You probably would have lost that if Watts had the whole year. But what I'm trying to say is Sarah brings a certain thing to our team that no one else brings. She's very physical. She's very passionate about the game and her teammates. She loves high school soccer. In addition to that, and I give you all the negative things, all the hard things about Sarah, but one of the things I really like about her, there's a couple things. She could have easily not played high school soccer. She could have stuck with her club team, and a lot of her club teammates chose not to play high school, but Sarah always was invested in Gilbert High and her teammates in the program, and I appreciate that about Sarah. But what I like most about Sarah is she developed her game. She could have easily just played the 6 and been a bit of a bruiser for us and win balls out of the air. But Sarah wanted to move up the field. She wanted to score goals. She wanted to shoot. She wanted to be involved, and she ended up second on our team in goals this year. And so she really did that. One of my funny stories about Sarah is I was her goalkeeper trainer when she was like 8 or 9 with Arsenal. Scott Alderson would send 4 or 5 girls over every week, and she was such a good goalkeeper at that age that I moved her and made sure she played in the field all the time. That's for USB. But Sarah's just a fun kid, fun to coach. She says what she means. There's not a lot of fluff with Sarah. She's pretty direct, and so I appreciate that about her. So SB, it's been a good 4 years. Thank you. Next one is Lauren Cooper. So Super Cooper. This was Coop's first year on varsity. She'd been involved in the program for a while. She spent her time on JV, and then came up, and I offered her a role this year. And we talk all the time. One of our first, actually before the season even starts, is, I'm going to offer some of you a role. And you don't have to love your role, but you need to accept your role in order for the team to be successful. And that role will change. It changes weekly, it changes daily. But I offered Coop a role, and she accepted that role. And to her credit, she earned my respect by coming and working hard at practice every single day. I think she got into 7 varsity games, and I'm sure she would have liked to have gotten into more games. But to show what kind of a kid she is, she showed up every day. She worked hard. She never complained once, and she practiced to the best of her ability. And when she got into games, she worked her very hardest. And as a coach, you can't ask for more than that. So, Coop, thank you very much for being a part of our program, and I appreciate you. Okay, the next one up is Elena Maldonado. How much time do we have? I don't know how long a live stream can go, because I could talk about Elena for days. I first met her like 2.5 years ago. It was the middle of her sophomore year. She transferred over from Mesquite. She got plopped into my BGA class, and I knew she had played soccer somehow for some connection. I think Bailey D. Raps told me that she was on her club team. So I started talking to E, and she got right into 5th hour right away, so I liked that. And it was pretty obvious right away that E's not like your normal kind of kid, E's different, and I love that about E, and I embrace that with her. And so what I liked about E is she made me a better coach. She forced me into situations where I have to make difficult decisions. And E's and our relationship has always been good, but E's been up and down. And she challenged me to know when to make the right decisions and when to have talks and when to look the other way at certain times and when to talk to her teachers. And that's one of the things that I really appreciate about her. In her junior year, things were a little bit rough. I'll be honest with you, E, and I think I've even told you this before. I wasn't sure if you were going to make it through this program. I have pretty high standards and high expectations, and you and I had some little rough times together. Never with me, but throughout your educational career. And I'm so glad that you stuck with it. And I'm not afraid to share it because you've shared it with me, and I think all the girls know it. But I thought you needed soccer a lot more than we needed you. You needed us early. And then as the time went on, like this year, we needed you. And you delivered for us. And so I'm just really happy. I know you've said that the girls have changed your life. And really glad you're not here right now. But I'm proud of you. So thanks, E. All right, moving on. Lily Pedersen. Lily, when Lily was a freshman, she came in and she was tall and gangly, and she looked like a giraffe on roller skates, and she couldn't lift 2 pounds, and she was scared. And so to see where she ended up, now she can lift 4 pounds. So I'm just kidding, Lily. But Lily, you've really developed a lot too, as a player and as a kid. I like that, you played a really important role for us this year. And I know that your senior year didn't shake out the way that you wanted to. You had an injury early. We really tried to bring you back slowly. And as you were kind of getting into your rhythm, then you got your concussion and you got a little bit robbed of your senior year. But we were a different team when you were on the field, and you made a big difference for us. And you never quit on your teammates. You gave everything you had. And it was just nice to see you develop also from your freshman to your senior year. So thank you very much for that. Molly. It's the last one. Molly is the only one to play. She started 22 out of 22 games for us. And so she was the only one that was able to do that. She was a captain for us when she first came into the program. I wasn't really sure like what her future was going to be. Like I knew she could play, and I knew she worked hard. I just wasn't sure like where she was going to play on the field and how much she was going to play. But both her and Lily, when they were juniors, actually I think at the end of their sophomore year, they made the jump to get on a more competitive club team, and that really proved well for both of them. They both improved a lot, and I knew that Molly was going to be on the field every single minute of her junior year and every single minute of her senior year. I just didn't know where, and so I appreciate her, her and a couple other players. You know, we graduated a lot of defenders, and so Molly would have been a great goal scorer for us. I could have put her up in the 9, and I know she would have scored goals for us, but she knew that we needed her in the back, and she's just a great leader, and she's a smart kid. I like smart girls, and so I like that Molly's not afraid to be smart. She's not ashamed to be smart, and I just like how hard she worked, and she set a great example for all the younger players. So thank you very much, Mollis. All right, good. Glad I made it through that one. All right. So normally, after that, is where we kind of break and we go get some dessert. So if you want to, I don't know if you can hit pause on a live stream, but if you want to go grab some ice cream or some cookies or something, this is where we normally do that. And then I come back up and we hand out our awards. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So let's get the awards out. Hope this doesn't tip over the table. All right, so here we go. You know, I tell the girls early in the year when they're setting their goals, not to put too much faith in like all region and all state and things like that. Those things are largely out of their control. And I do struggle every year to kind of hand out awards. Soccer is such a team game. I think it's one of the most team-oriented games that you can play. And so to give out individual awards sometimes feels a little bit odd for me. But I do like to recognize some players at the end of each season, and so that's what I would like to do now. So our first award goes to Rookie of the Year. This player came in and just kind of quietly worked their way into the starting lineup, and just kind of, for a freshman, it's odd that they do the dirty work for us. But I thought that Alyssa Sabato sat back. She played the 6 for us. I know I could have advanced her further up the field too, but she was so clean on the ball, and she just came in and worked hard. Their teammates loved her. So Sabato, congratulations. You are the Rookie of the Year. All right. My next award, this is the Tiger Team Award, and I already mentioned it when I was talking about the seniors. But Lauren Cooper, congratulations. Thanks for being such a great teammate and for sticking it out this season. It was great having you be a part of the team. So, Lauren Cooper, congratulations. You get the Tiger Team Award. There you go. All right, our next award, Impact Player of the Year. And you know, I could have given this to a couple different girls. But I thought when this player played well, we played well. And if she was out, or if she was recovering from an injury, or if she had a rough game, then we as a team had a rough game. But luckily, she had a lot more good games than bad ones for sure. And I thought she just had a lot of impact for us when she was on the field. I thought her game took a really big jump from her sophomore year to her junior year, and I'm expecting great things from her next year. So, Leah Flores, Flo, congratulations. You are our Impact Player of the Year this year. Thanks, Flo. All right, our next one, Most Improved Player. I talked about this senior also as well, and how she just developed from her freshman year to her senior year, and how she kind of came to a crossroads and she had a choice to make whether she was going to make herself a better soccer player or she was just going to be content with where she was, and she made herself a better soccer player, and she had a great year. Shelby Alvarez, Shelberto, congratulations, you are our Most Improved Player for the year this year. All right, this next one. So, we had a team full of versatile players. We had a lot of girls who could play in multiple positions, and I thought this player stood out and did a great job for us. I talked about it earlier, her passion for the game, and she even showed it in our quarterfinal game. You know, I needed a defender. We were trying to move some people around, and our most versatile player of the year goes to Elena Maldonado. She played in the back line for us in the last 10 minutes of the quarterfinal game. She hadn't defended for us all year, but I knew I could trust her back there, and that freed up Sierra and Molly to go up and try to do some damage up top. But whether I needed E to play out wide or play up top or play in the back, she volunteered to play the 9 for me. She volunteered to play the 10. So E, congratulations, you were most versatile player of the year award. All right, offensive MVP. There is no question that we had one player who, when she was on the field, we were definitely a different team, and she was our most valuable player. She came out of the gates really hot, scored a ton of goals for us. Then she got injured, and we really tried to bring her back and tried to get her to peak, or just tried to get her to be involved at the end. You know, and her fitness wasn't ready, and I don't think her leg was really ready either. But she loved her teammates so much she wanted to get back on the field. But there is no question that Elizabeth Watts was our offensive most valuable player, and didn't take you long to watch to see her impact on the game. So, E. Watts, congratulations! You are our offensive most valuable player this year. Defensive player of the year. So we had quite a few solid defensive players this year, but you know it all kind of ends with the goalkeeper. And so this year I'm giving Alex Bevel our defensive player of the year. I already read you her stats. Those stats can't happen without a great back line and everybody working in the same direction for that. So this is as much a team award as it is anything. But Alex, I was so grateful that you were able to play, you know, the entire season, and you played through injury, through sickness. You were committed, and so you definitely deserve to be Defensive Player of the Year. So thank you, Alex. All right. Offensive Player of the Year. So, you know, this year, I told you I'm not super big on stats at the banquet, but we had a freshman lead us in scoring this year. I think the last time that happened was probably 20 years ago, and so that's pretty rare for that to happen. And, you know, Katrina came in and she scored goals for us, and she started out scoring a few goals, and I think that just kind of built her confidence, and you could kind of see it grow. And she wasn't just scoring goals like against inferior teams, like she was scoring big goals for us in big games, and she kind of helped carry the load. So this player did lead us in goals this year, and that's our Offensive Player of the Year, Katrina Kowitz. All right, defensive MVP. I kind of talked about it a little bit earlier. When this player was on the field, we were a different defense, and you know, without her, it's not that we struggled. You know, we had some girls come in and play great in her place, but we were definitely a better team. It was just a different attitude when she was out there. It gave me a little more confidence in this player, played with a little bit of an edge, and so that goes to Lily Pedersen. Lily, you are our defensive most valuable player. Congratulations. All right, so now we're getting down. Team MVP, I'm allowed to give more than one team MVP if I want to. That's the beauty of being in charge of the program. So we had a couple girls who really were super impactful for us, and it shouldn't be any surprise. But like I said, Sarah's ability to go both ways, her ability to play physical, her ability to lead. So one of our most valuable players goes to Sarah Boudreau. Congratulations, SB. Most valuable player. this next award is a little bit unique to me in that I'm talking about two different girls, but I think I could probably have the same conversation for both of them, which very rarely happens. I'm just going to give it away. So it's Sierra Koheiser and Molly Pakela as both team MVPs as well. They really did hold our team down, and if you watched us play for 2 minutes, you'd understand what I'm talking about. Both of them played so extremely hard. They both played for each other. That was a relationship, playing-wise, for center backs that had never happened before. They had never played together. And it didn't take them long to gel. And they both sacrificed. Both of them could have done great things for us up top. Both of them could have played in the midfield for us. But we needed them desperately in the back. And I talked about what a great year we had defensively. And it's due in large part to both Sierra and to Molly. So you guys are both getting MVP awards. Congratulations, girls. Nice job. All right, and that concludes our awards. So usually at this time, I just say thank you very much again for coming out. This is definitely a unique situation. I'm very not comfortable standing in front of a camera with some lights on me. But these are strange times, and I feel really bad for our seniors not to be able to have this banquet, and for the parents as well. I'm so grateful we were able to finish our season. I feel horrible for the spring athletes who barely just got their season started. And so I am really grateful for the fact that we were able to finish it and that we did have such a great year. Normally at this time I talk about, hey, we're going to be lifting hard in the spring. We've got Tiger Soccer Camp coming up. My guess is we probably won't. I can put that together really fast, so if the governor and the federal government says we can start having gatherings again, don't be surprised if some of the girls get some emails for me about coming out and doing that. I don't see us having summer workouts at all this year. Again, I could put that together pretty quick. So that's usually the normal cycle of things. The season ends, we work hard in the weight room, we do camp, we do summer workouts, and then we come back. So for those of you who are returning, just make sure you get enrolled in 5th hour. These are strange times, but we'll hit the ground running and we'll be ready to go. Seniors, thank you very much for your service. I appreciate it and how hard you guys worked and how you represented the program. Parents, again, thank you very much. All right, I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. Bye, girls. I miss you, and hopefully I will see you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.